Tonight's story begins in a quiet house, at the very edge of a sleepy coastal town where the ocean whispers against the shore. The stars are scattered thickly across the sky, like handfuls of silver coins tossed carelessly into a dark velvet bag. And in that little house, behind a warm golden window, sits someone not unlike you. Her name is Arya. Arya was the sort of person who had always believed she was meant for more, though she could never quite explain what more meant. She wasn't chasing fame, she wasn't chasing attention, and she wasn't even chasing people's approval. What she longed for, deep inside her chest, was something quieter. Freedom, ease, security, and a life whose days belonged entirely to her. She worked hard, too hard, at times. Some nights her mind felt like a tangled rope of to-do lists, responsibilities, and expectations she never asked for. And yet every night, before she fell asleep, she pictured the same vision, a life where she'd finally broken through, finally built something extraordinary, finally made millions, not for the money itself, but for the time it would buy, the peace it would bring, and the doors it would quietly unlock. On this particular night, something felt different. The air hummed, a soft breeze drifted through her window, warm and gentle, carrying the faint scent of salt and cedarwood. She set her notebook down on her lap and closed her eyes. And as her thoughts began to drift, something unusual happened. A soft, glowing light appeared in the corner of her bedroom. Not bright, not alarming, just a gentle, golden shimmer like moonlight caught in a jar. Arya blinked once, twice, and then the light began to move, swirling slowly like smoke in water, spinning itself into a shape. A figure, tall, calm, almost shimmering. It wasn't frightening, it felt familiar, like the soft warmth of an idea she'd forgotten she had. The figure spoke in a voice that sounded like the breeze through old eucalyptus trees. Arya, it said, I am the architect of possibility. Arya wasn't sure if she was awake or dreaming, but there was a peaceful heaviness settling into the room. Her limbs softened, her breath deepened, and everything felt slow and quiet. What do you want? She asked. The architect tilted its head slightly, golden sparkles drifting from its edges. I want to show you, it said, how your life becomes everything you've imagined, once you stop trying to force the path, and start allowing the path to unfold. With a wave of its hand, the room dissolved. The walls drifted away like dust and sunlight. The ceiling melted into sky. And suddenly Arya was standing in a vast, open field, golden grass stretching to the horizon, shifting and shimmering like a sea of coins. What is this place? She whispered. This, said the architect, is the blueprint of your future wealth. Arya stepped forward. The grass sighed beneath her feet. Each step felt impossibly soft, as though she was walking across a cloud or a warm blanket. In the distance she saw a small cottage, quaint, peaceful, smoke curling from the chimney. It looked like the sort of place where ideas grew slow and steady, like vines. The architect led her toward it. Inside, there was a single wooden table. On it lay 3 objects: a compass, a key, and a small black notebook. All wealth, the architect said, starts with clarity. And clarity begins with knowing which direction your soul is pulling you. It gestured to the compass. Arya picked it up. Instead of pointing north, the needle glowed faintly and pulled toward a word etched onto the rim: purpose. She felt something loosen in her chest. Next, the architect motioned toward the key. This, it said, unlocks the doors you keep trying to push open with force. Wealth is not built in panic. It grows in alignment. Arya picked up the key. It felt warm, as though it had been waiting for her. Finally, she reached for the notebook. The cover was soft, almost velvet-like. Open it, the architect said. She did. Inside, was her life. Not the life she was living now, but the life she wanted. Written in delicate silver ink were scenes. Arya waking up slowly in a sunlit home she owned outright. Arya checking her accounts and seeing numbers that felt surreal at first. More money earned while she slept than she used to make in a week. Arya taking trips on a whim, just because she could. Arya creating something that mattered, something that brought value to thousands of people. Arya at peace. Her throat tightened. I want this, she whispered. I know, said the architect. And you can have it. But wealth doesn't arrive by waiting. It arrives by becoming. It stepped closer, its golden glow warming the room. So tonight, it continued, we begin the transformation. The cottage around them flickered and changed. Suddenly, Arya stood in a grand room lined with shelves, each shelf lined with memories of actions she had taken in different lifetimes, choices, habits, possibilities. The architect guided her to one particular shelf. This, it said softly, is where your empire begins. Arya stared at a row of glowing glass jars. Inside each jar floated a small scene, tiny glowing fragments of possible futures. She stepped closer. In one jar, she saw herself building a digital product that quietly went viral. In another, she built a YouTube channel that blossomed within months. In another, she discovered a marketplace niche and became the go-to name. And in yet another, she invested wisely, letting her money grow silently like a garden. Arya lifted one jar. The glow spilled across her hands. Which do I choose? She asked. The architect smiled, or at least the light around it shimmered in a way that felt like a smile. You don't choose one, you choose the path that feels warmest. The one that feels peaceful. Your millions are not built through struggle, but through the direction your soul already leans. Arya placed her hand over her heart. She felt something, a pull, a soft, steady pull. Familiar, gentle, knowing. This one, she said. The architect nodded. Suddenly the shelves dissolved, and Arya was drifting gently back into the golden field. The sky deepened into twilight. Stars blinked awake above her, slow and soft. Now, said the architect, you understand. Arya felt a calm determination rising within her. Not frantic, not pressured, just clear. I know what I need to do, she whispered. The architect stepped back, its form beginning to shimmer and disperse. Good, it said, because wealth, real wealth, is not loud. It is quiet. It is patient. It grows like the tide, slowly at first, then all at once. The golden light began to fade. Whenever you feel lost, it said, return to the blueprint. It lives inside you. And then it was gone. The field faded, the cottage dissolved, the stars drifted away, and Arya opened her eyes in her own bedroom, quiet, peaceful, calm. The night air was still warm. Her notebook still sat in her lap. But she felt different, clearer, steadier, lighter. She picked up her pen. And without hesitation, she began to write. Not from desperation, not from pressure, but from a quiet, calm knowing that her millions were no longer a distant dream. They were already unfolding, slowly, surely, inevitably, and she drifted softly into sleep, heart full, mind quiet, walking into tomorrow with purpose.